Yo, 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 what's up, YouTube? It's your boy, Yo Bay, who say, What's up, Records, Lair Productions, NFL. Back at you with another one. You already know. Don't let me have to tell you again. You know what I mean? Gonna get on this baby shit, man. Put some respect on my fucking name, alright? So, look, right? This what we great do. We're gonna get into part 3 of this jump, right? So, this is how we feel. Already got it set up for y'all. I got early track already loaded over audio files. So, it's audio clips now. What I did, I came out of here. All I did was select a track like you see here. Go to export, render the file, right there. Bam. You want to select this. Only render mock region. Only render selected tracks. Render each track separate. Once you select them, and if you did it in stereo, don't do these tracks in MP3. See, I I had exported another file since then, so that's why I say MP3, but you want to send these out as wave, and you want to put them, if you recorded them at 24-bit, you want to put them at 24-bit if you want sound quality to be better. So you export them, and like I say, you'll change this, but you'll change this, so you'll go wave, and if you have 48 like me, I'll be at 48, so 24-bit, right? So that's what you'll do. So then after you get that, you'll go to your project folder. You'll see all your tracks will be over here. You just select all of them, drag them to your clipboard right here. You'll do like this, select all. Then once you drag them there, go right here. Bang, see all of them pop up right there. Alright, so that's what you'll do. Then you'll go into your edit and you'll just drop more and then go straight to the track. We already got this edit set up for us. I already got my kick and snare sub, my bass sub, which I'm gonna run my 808s to. I got my other percussion sub, hats, clap, crash, hi-hat, yeah, that, and my keys and sub, all my sips and keys going in. My aux sub, my aux folder right here, got all my auxes running. Alright, so we ain't set that up yet though. The aux ain't set up yet. We're gonna set that up. So we might as well go ahead and set that up. So first thing I do, wrong plug-in. Put my returns on here. So each track I go one left, one right for my auxes. So I think in my space, I think from left to right. So this is my left one. So I think how much do I want to stay left from left to give the right, instead of thinking straight on my auxes. I go like that. So I'm thinking from here to here this way, instead of thinking this is center. This is my center on my aux, because I go left channel, right channel. The same, see it say aux return 1. So I'll copy this, I'll go aux return 2 right here. And then this would be left. This would be right. Let me do the same thing. This would be 3. This would be left. This would be right. Turn to 4. Be left. That'll be right. Then we got one more return. That's aux 5 right here for my beginning setup. So I come with basically 5 auxes, but it's 2 for each one, except for this one, and this one is going to be considered basically my stereo aux, right? So that's that right there. Now, since you got that, alright, we ready. We got our return set up. We got, is this going right? Let me make sure this outputting to the right place. Oh no, I'm not outputting to my aux sub. So we're gonna send this to the sub, aux sub. So all this going to the aux sub. So then after that, another thing, I know I'm gonna end up doing some automation to my oxes. So to make me know also that that's my oxes, I always do this. I put 2 volume and pan filters. So no matter what I do, if I do extreme volume up and down or whatever, I still got control of it here. So I do this for every track in my aux. 2 volume faders. Don't take up no CPU, so I ain't gonna hurt nothing with the traction plugins. Alright, so I know my aux folder gonna look familiar to me. Another thing, I get rid of this. Put a text plug in. That get in the way. And it's gonna make me know where I'm at left or right. So let's get rid of all these. Alright, so you don't want to get confused, man. You get to playing with that fade up there, and it's still moving up all your faders. I seen some people complain about that too, and I figure it ain't worth complaining about. Once you just notice it, then you just know what that is. Like, I know what they saying. Like, it should do that though. Like, once you move that fader, you're not gonna see none of these faders in your folder move, but you is turning the volume up. So I just make sure I get rid of that. That's gonna be in my way. But now it's better because I know where I'm at. I can look left or right. So when I'm working with my plugins, I also know where I'm at. So it makes me move faster. Alright. I don't have no confusion. Know where I'm at. Left and right. Got my color coordination. I got everything set up. So I know where I'm at in my edit now. First things first. Already named Array EQ so you can see Array EQ on the track. And that's why I love this EQ right here. If you don't have it, go ahead in the Traction or go to their site and get it, because that's the best part about it, that I don't got to keep changing EQs. I can do all my EQ on right here. So I high pass and low pass every track that needed it already. So we only done that. But now we're going to get into the main mixing part. I'm going to mix this. We're going to mix this down. So here we go. Let's get going. always remember too, when you're in the mixing stage, there's no rules on your EQing, compressing, nothing. You are creating the sound right now. So any person that's in the mixing process, you is still a sound designer at that moment, because you is designing this sound. It's like cutting the clothes up and you design it, you sewing it together. That's what we're doing right now. But in the mastering stage, you don't want to be going all crazy with the EQing. Alright, so right now, you don't care, you're trying to make sounds fit. So you could do that. You could do what you want right now. Alright, if you can see what I just did right here, I turned this in a parallel. So what it did was the punch, it was counter punching, but this gonna make the punch hit harder, because this also gonna add a boom right here where I cut down at, because it's parallel. When it's not parallel, it's running in series. Anything you do to one part of EQ still affect the other in a slight way, even if you don't think so, it do. But when you're in parallel, each one of these are its own. Each time I make a new node, it's its own node. So I can go carve and cut around the same frequencies, and think of it as you have two stereo channels basically. Just think of it like that. Like you got two channels basically running. And no matter what, every time you create a new one, it's a new channel. You create a new channel of the audio file. Every time you create a new dial that you grade, cut at or do whatever you grade do. So you can mess a mix up real quick with it, but once you understand how, it's easy to mess it up on this grid, but that's why I like the full text and stuff, they only got knobs, so it's harder to, you gonna hear, you know what I mean? It's easy to use. You shouldn't mess up with the EQ on that. Either you can use it for your track or you can't to make it better. So, but this one, you got the nose and stuff, you seeing this graph, you can do more crazy things than inside the full text. So you're gonna get to do more stuff. Like basically you can compress with this EQ. If you, people that know about music know what I'm saying. Like with the way you sit this, when you cutting and boosting, you could basically be making it feel like compression. So let's get back into it. Around 3K, 4K to 8, you're going to get all what you want out your snare. And you can shelf like from 5, from like 4 out, depends on what kind of snare you got. So what happened here is I got the same snare happening twice, so you can see on this snare I did the shelf, and on this snare I ain't shelf. I just boosted around 8 right there. So it's gonna make it sit in the mix better. And you can hear when you move your EQ around, where you finding a room to sit the sound in too. Like, you know what I mean? Like when you moving this left to right, think about that. Like what you just did with the last sound and where you sitting it, when you listening. Don't just be watching this grid. You got to be listening. When you listening and watch when you moving it across the grid lines, and you gonna hear where the sweet spot's at, because they be in small windows. The window be so small for the sweet spot. That's the thing about recording. The sweet spot be so small, the window don't be big. So when you find it, you want to make sure you use it. So what I did right here, you can see I went real wide on my cue. I'm at all the way down to 37, so my cue real wide, and I'm boosting wide. Like this get used a lot during mastering and stuff, wide boosting, but I'm boosting wide right here just for my clap, and I want that more spacious on the lift, so it's going to lift it up. And then basically also, when the good thing about these kind of EQs too, I'm looking at the shape of the sound, so that's the shape it also got. So in common sense, boosting this sound and the shape that it's already in, you hear it, you just find the sweet spot where it sit with that. So that was easy to do. Going wide cue again. Because I'm knowing that these sounds I'm using got covered in the same area, so I want to be careful on how I mix them in. I like the little part of that, the part where the sound start to get high from the deep part, like in between the 600, 700, 800 right here. So I like that right there. So I want to start my boost right there, give it a little cue, and I like that. try dry mix. We already got that high pass, low pass. We ain't gonna do nothing of that. We saving that. Saving that. I'll save our dry mix for real. What I say my dry mix for, if any problems I feel I need to fix deep down in my mix. Other than that, I keep it dry. Nothing done to it, because I might gotta use that when something ain't working. I can't get it. I ain't got enough kick, enough snare. Something ain't working. I go use that. My dry mix. All right. There we go. So we got a lot of clipping going on. Let's see what's going on down here. So now I'm ready to slap some compressors around and do what I do right here. After I now got my EQ going. So, like I say, the great thing about Traction, when I'm getting ready to be able to do, I'm able to check which where I want my compressor. So I'm already thinking about making this track big, so I already know I want to go with the Black 76. So the Black 76 gonna be my go-to compressor right now. So here we go. You can see I'm gonna slam this compressor a little bit. Alright, now remember, these going on my bass sub, so these my 808s. They're going on my bass sub. Now I ain't gonna hit this kick up like that, like I did my 808. So the kick. Now you can start hitting the separation. You can hear it. Now you can. First you wasn't hearing the difference of knowing it was a kick and an 808. So that's what I'm basically doing. That's why I compress my 808 like that too. I'm gonna do the same thing with my snare. I'ma smash one of them. See, I always gotta go check that. Like, do I want my compressor first or my EQ? I love traction, and I can just do that right there. Like, that's the greatest. See how I just moved the compressor to the front and on that kick, and I was able to just put out a little bit more thump out of it. Like that mismatch effect working out perfect. Every track I got a double on the mismatch effect. Compressor and EQ and compressor. compressor, no nothing on my dry mix. Like I say, I ain't gonna touch that. Alright, so now we got our compressors set on all the tracks where we want them for now. So what we're gonna do now, we're gonna get into the mixing part. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna finish off in the mixing part. Here we go. So watch my meter. First thing I'm gonna do, I'm gonna get these 808s a little more room. That little bit go a long way. That 0.5 left, 0.5 right. Alright, now my idea, how I do it, like I tell you, you gotta think like a left-handed drummer or a right-handed drummer. Once you get to going, I want to set my kit up. Like if I'm looking at the drum set, it always work out. So here we go. Doing this part, you want to think about, imagine yourself watching the band play and where people at. Person clapping on the stage, where he's sitting at, that's where that sound should be perceived from. So that's how I be doing when the panning is the main part of the mix, man. So the main part for me is the panning part. So that's what I'm doing right now. I'm gonna pan everything up as I'm thinking the way these instruments sitting on the stage as I'm listening. And where they will fit on the stage. Like if I was practicing with a band, I'd say, nah, you ain't working over there, man. We ain't got no amps to do this. We ready to do this just live, and all we got is the amps that's running to your guitar. We ain't got no big speakers or nothing. And you ain't working over there in that corner with your guitar, man. We got to put you over here, and it's working better. So that's what you got to think of it like. So that's what we doing. Swap them two. Put these bells over there. I'm gonna put this sound on there. Having all that fun down there in the correlation, in the phase meter. That's what you want, man. You want your track to be having fun, man. You want your your phase meters will be looking like it's dancing. Like it feel the beat, man. And if you got everything lined up, you don't got nothing pant, the beat ain't gonna have no groove to it. Like turn this compressor off too. Beat bus compressor, let me turn that off right now until I come to that. Alright. Let me turn this compressor off too. Same thing. Turn my bus compressors off. I don't want to get tricked while I'm doing my compression. Alright, so now they going to my kick and Smith go right there. We're gonna add the oxys last. That's gonna be only accent. So we're gonna do right now. White 2A on my sub. I'm gonna go on inside. And what I learned too, like, it's best if it don't kill your ears and make you go crazy, it's best to go all the way up extreme then come back. I'ma hit and I'ma see it. I want my size. I want it only flickering right there. It's barely moving. And I'ma hear that sweet spot right there like I just heard it. So when I hear it, I'ma leave that alone. Like if I gotta come back to it again, I come back to it. But I heard it where I want it right there. I was doing all that time, sitting there, and I'm sitting here, right, while I'm moving, I'm like, man, why is not doing what it's supposed to do? I'm sitting here tripping, and I didn't cut the goddamn switch on. All right, here we go. I'm ready to lose my mind right here, man, I swear. I only got 2 knobs, and I'm ready to go crazy. what I'm saying? Like right here, my limiter, I need this limiter. So this limiter gonna stay. We're gonna see. We'll go down now, we're gonna go to the 808s. Make sure I cut this compressor on. I'm gonna do now, I'm gonna make room for my 808 and my kick to sit. So I sit my 808 out the way. I'm gonna parallel. So that'd be like one of the hardest things to do, man, to make that kick in your 808 and it work. And you gotta make sure you sit it right, and you want that sound that you're hearing out of it though, that doom, the doom, 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 and you want your kick to sit there too. So you gotta sit there and play with that till you get that to work right. So I knew I wanted the big sound. Like I said, I wanted to go big on this track. I already knew that, so I wanted to go big. So because I knew that, it made it easier for what I was trying to do. But it'd be hard, man, trying to figure out one of them gotta get out the way. And don't leave your 808 overpowering your track after you do it. One sign if it's too much bass, if you hit a bass too much, you shouldn't hit that much because you got, unless you in a big studio or you got big monitors. So if you hit too much of that bass, you know you got too much bass. But I just watch this meter because I'm so used to throwing it. If I don't go past the 8, I'm gonna be good. So, and I don't worry about that till at the end of my mix. When I'm making my sounds work, I ain't worrying about that. But we 56 minutes in, man. We an hour, basically in. And we didn't get to the aux yet, but we ready to finish this and that. So let's get this out the way. Alright, it's aux time now. We're gonna go set our aux up. Before we go to the beat fader and the master fader, we're gonna set our aux up. So what we're gonna do, come off our subs. Matter of fact, we're gonna do the beat fader first. Let's do the beat fader. Got some presets I use. Alright, what's going on in these two EQ presets right here? Basically, it's hard to explain, but these are my final. I put these on the final of my beats by default. Yep, they'll tell you don't do nothing by default, but if you know what way you mix into, I know where I mix into, what world I mix into. So this is like, how can I explain it? It's basically a template, or rather, if when I put this on, if the mix ain't working right with this, I'm not going to touch this. I need to go fix something else backwards for this to work. And I know you probably think like he crazy when he doing that, but what's happening is each one of these boosters I have and cuts right here, these are basically how can I explain it? I'm not a professional in that, but I understand it real well. So basically in this is what's going on is the signal flow of a car speaker, radio, an iPad, a stereo surround system, TV, all that in one. It's all the places right here on this EQ that normally get the boosters. Like if you bought a Sony sound player, or man, you know what I'm saying, CD player or whatever. I'm basically boosting at the normal frequencies that's boosted at and cut, and mostly all the hardware that's sold for master music. So this basically my template. If I put this on and I don't like how the sound coming out from there, then like I say, I'm gonna go back and fix. I'm gonna leave this alone. This gonna stay what it is. You can say whatever you want, it's crazy, whatever, but I'm telling you, once I render out with this template right here, these EQs right here set, I guarantee you it's gonna sound right in any system you play it in. You ain't gonna have no misses or nothing. It ain't gonna sound like when you play it out your phone with no speaker. When you play it out your phone with a speaker, it's gonna be loud. You're gonna hear all the instruments and everything. So that's why these two EQs is. The only reason this one right here with one boost, because it's only 10. You only can get 10 bands on the EQ. So, and I needed one more band to make sure I catch all the boosters. So that's why I got two EQs. And let's get back. feel it and I can hear it and I can see it. It was too much size going on. So what I'm doing, killed some of my size down on my beat. First off. And I know people always saying, I say it too, watch your clipping, but it depends, like, what you great do with it and what's going on here. Like, got a different little trick going on right here. When I'm coming out through the reverb with this knob, because it's a dry and wet knob, all your signal flow is still not going through. So I still just like to think, you gotta still think of this as still a volume fader. So this still control volume. It ain't gonna seem as much because it's in this plugin. It must be like a built-in what you call it, auto gain control, because it, like, if you play something through here and you just play with this, like, you ain't gonna get no volume change with this reverb. This reverb ain't giving you no volume changes. But this right here, the dry mix, is gonna bring the dry back in on the wet. So with me being able to control that, if I just go more wet, it's gonna be able to control the depth of it too. So basically, I can shave that red off the top just by this plugin. Let me show you. Like I say, this ain't gonna change no volume. This gonna change how much wet and dry you doing. But at the same time, while it's doing that, even though you see the clipping, when I go into the next plugin, it's not gonna make harsh sounds come back or whatever once I run through this reverb. It ain't gonna, for some reason. Like, even though like you see clipping, it ain't no clipping and popping that you won't hear back. Think about this reverb, exactly what you're doing. This is your master, my reverb on my master fader is for filling my room. What I want my room to feel like. What I want my actual room to feel like. That's why reverb be on my master fader. Like, do this first, then, because I'm going to put some reverb in my auxes too. But I'm not going to care what I use them as. I'm just going to make sure they sound right. Like, I don't care. But this right here, I'm making sure my room sound like on my whole track. Like, where did it sound like I was at when I was creating it? Like, the whole beat. So, we got that. I'm gonna kill this out a little bit. Don't need no limiter right here. I want this breathing. Alright, like I said, I don't care that it's going into the red. But I want to find that sweet spot. You're gonna hear it like it's a little less distortion, but it's right there at loud. See, right there, it's like it starts distorting a little more, so I'm to back off just a little bit. Right there. Alright. I ain't gonna touch my master fader. Now we're gonna go to the octaves. I'm not going to send my aux fader into my master fader yet, because sometimes I don't end up sending my aux fader into my master fader. I just end up sending it straight to the master bus, just the volume going to it. So right now I'm not going to send it to it, so it's going to default output. Alright, so we're going to set all of them up, then we're going to go get the mixing them in. Alright, so we're going to make sure we get all of them up. 3, 4, and 5. Alright, so we got all 5 auxes running. Now we're going to close this, we end up closing this beat out right here like that. Alright, so we can close our beat folder because we ain't doing none of that. We can open the aux folder. I'm gonna mirror this plug-in with this one, so my definitely run right doing the same thing, but I'm gonna change these just to some presets real quick. Alright, and do some sliding back. Turn 3. Turn 3. I'm gonna take you turn 3. I'll make this only come from the key sub. We're gonna make that one come from the key sub, so move that one. Sometimes that's what I end up doing. only thing I'm gonna do with 4. I'm only gonna send 4 from other percussions and keys. Same thing I'm gonna do with 5. This only gonna be kick and snare. Like you saw, I started off with everything going from the B fader. So now you see only 1 and 2 gravy really actually coming out the B fader. So I'm gonna put it on 808 too. From the 808 and you know, my aux, I don't care what I'm doing. Like, I can just go extreme crazy. I'm just trying to get the sound I want from it, and I'm going to put as much of it that I want to put back into it that I can. So, there we go. Alright, you can't hear that no more, but I promise you, you get in a car and you cut that on, it's gonna blow your goddamn, you're gonna feel that shit in the seat so goddamn much, it don't make no sense, man. I'm trying to tell you. And I'll pull them a little bit to the right side before my key will shift to the right side. Go right with my snare 3 because I've been pulling it left. That's where the set was at. Alright, now I'm gonna take all these faders and bring them down one time. Check, 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 check. I don't know what happened. Yeah, you know, but the truck's coming past. I got the balcony open, the windows open, you know. Trucks coming past, but we cleaned it up. So what we gotta do, we gotta do something basic, just so I can end it up, because this shit took an hour and 40 fucking minutes. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna just put a what you call them on this aux fader automation on here. But I normally would put it in my aux, but we gonna end this video quick. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna just do it here. What we gonna do, just inside of here, we set these markers. Right. Go bang inside the markers. We're gonna set the we're gonna put aside 8 beats. And now we're gonna take this. Hold on. Dude, I don't know why I ain't already do this. I always do this first. That's my markers. Actually got our markers, so it's gonna be easy for me to do this while this down here. Alright, there we go. Now, just move this over. Do half of here. Ramp up 4 beats. Ramp down 4 beats. Triangle 4 beats. Alright, 8 beats. Four beats. Alright. Triangle 4 beats. Where 3/4 beats. I'm just putting anything right now just so we can have something happening. Alright. Wrap up. 1/4 beat. Alright, so then we're going to take our scale down some. Alright, let's see what we got. One thing you want to make sure you ain't doing is going out of phase. So because you're playing with the panner. I had seen that I could make it wider. So I went ahead and make it wider. Alright, now you see now how after I've done all this, so me killing all them sides back and forth. Now you see I can give it as much size as I want. Now it's to the taste. What sound right? It's no longer messing with my face. It ain't in the way of my face. My size was in the way of my face early. It's not in the way. So now I just listen to see where I want it at. Alright, why it's doing like glitching? Know why it's glitching? You see when I'm messing them highs, it's glitching. I can take you to that problem. Right here. What I'm gonna do, let me see what I can, if I turn this high filter threshold off. Still going in there too gritty. Even though you think that's lag from the CPU, nah, you know what that is? That's smashing through the plugins, going out past 0 dB through the plugins, through compressors and limiters. So here we go. I'm gonna fix that right here. 432. I just need to dial back a little bit of them highs. Still doing it. Still hot. So what I'm gonna do, go back. Now I'm gonna give back what I wanted out of it. Still here. Alright. You know what? That is my CPU. Right there, I'm crushing it. Slow this down. Just because I'm running this damn broadcast. Shit. Open broadcast. there you go. Got it. You know what I mean? Like, that's the beat, man. Let it play one time. This shit took 2 hours for real. But it was all worth it. All together, you say about 3.5 hours to do this whole beat. That's what it took. So, not all together, you say 4 hours, because it took about 30 minutes to make the sounds, to make the beat. So you say about 4 hours to make this beat. All right, let's export it. Oh. Let me do this though. I sent it out, worrying about the loudness, but I'm gonna send it out and the way that I would normally send it out. So I'll be able to have room to master. Alright, so we're gonna export. My bad, I had to run out the room, man. My bad. But that's it. So we gonna play this for y'all. This the new track. And then we out of here. Man, that's what's up. That's what's up. You already know. Led NFL. Thanks for tuning in. Everybody stayed the whole 2 hours. Man, I really appreciate that. And if you did, leave a comment at the bottom and said you done in 2 hours. Man, I really appreciate that. That's what's up, man. Tune in next time. We just did it. 3 parts, 4 hours basically. Hooked you up with the whole way to make a beat. Stretch it out, mix it down. Stay tuned in to your boy, Obey who say, What's Up Records. Holla back.